us your name again.
My name is Honorable Mohammed Isa Abba. I'm the APC Zonal Leader for Persons with Disability in the Northeast, and at the same time, I'm the Chairperson, Persons with Disability Committee of this National Unity Concert.
I've read much about you, and I must comment that it is very, very impressive. You know, this is a story of neglect to inspiration. But before we go detail, I want to really know what is happening here today. See quite numbers of people gathering here. Can you briefly tell us what is going on?
Honestly, what is going on here today is a clear manifestation of the transition to the new administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay.
Why? Because if you look at, we are organizing a Renew Pop concert.
Okay.
What we mean by the concert, the essence of the concert is to organize a program to those people that they support Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashi Shetima in their victory. Those people, there are so many people who are injured. In fact, it is a victory celebration that we are going to gather here. If you look at the government of the day, almost getting to 60% of youth constitute the voting population of this country. It is youth that we're going to assemble on 25 of this month across Nigeria, right from the national to the zone to the local government to the polling unit. All the supporters of APC, they are going to emerge on 25 of this month in this MKO Abiola Stadium in order to showcase their potentiality. If you look at the category of the people, it involves persons with disability, different support group across Nigeria, international organization, support group, the National Youth Council of Nigeria, National Youth Association, different fora. They will go to gather here on 25 of this month, and as well as Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he will go to witness this occasion. We are going to showcase our
the president-elect will be here himself.
Definitely the president-elect, the program is for him.
Okay.
Why? Because if you look at, it has never happened in the history of Nigeria, the youth that they are transitioned.
Yes.
The youth have taken ownership of the transition of this administration. Why? Because this program is solidly for the youth people. It is youth that we are going to gather here to show our solidarity to this administration. Why? Because it is youth that make a significant effort in making sure that we voted for Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashi Shetima. Why? Because if you look at this administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it's a clear indication that he's going to carry youth along the line. So it's a program purely for the youth. And many youth of the Nigeria, most of the youth, they are going to gather here, and we are going to showcase different activities.
Honorable, in a nutshell, what you are trying to say is that today's program is not just for frivolities or razzmatazz. There are huge impact of this program to Nigeria as a country.
Definitely, there is a significant impact. Why? Because what I'm trying to say, we are in the transition, and if you look at the youth, they are on the driver's seat. This is a clear indication that this government of Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to carry the youth along. If you look at, it's a Renew Hope concert for the youth. It is youth solidly that are going to transit the government. Youth have taken over. Why? Because if you look at this program, they will go to continue up to the inauguration. Different fora of people, they will go to march here. You can see a lot of potentiality in the youth. Why? Because this is to show the world that they are organized. We are prepared to take the leadership of this government. We are prepared to be involved in this leadership. And as Aswaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if you look at this manifestation, he mentioned clearly that in terms of industrialization, in terms of everything, he's going to carry youth again. And we youth, what are we going to add value? What are you going to show to the administration? The only thing how we can add value is to defend this government, to support this government in every aspect of life, and that is why we are here.
Coming down to you personally, Honorable, I've done some research. I want to tell you that after going through, it was very, very amazing. So this your movement or joining from one place to another, how has it helped the disabled, especially looking at where they were before you came in and currently?
Honestly, it's a long journey. If I start telling you the journey of my life, I'm an activist by profession, I am philanthropist, I am honorable, I am one of the critical stakeholders in the Nigerian community that contribute for the actualization of the assenting of National Disability Act by President Muhammad Buhari. Why? Because Nigeria, they are signatory to the United Nations Convention of Rights of Persons with Disability, and any country, any country that signed this bill, they are bound to ratify what is in that convention. And at the same time, if you look at when the government of President Muhammad Buhari came, is the one that even ascend the National Disability Bill and even established National Commission for Persons with Disability in order to safeguard the right of persons with disability, in order to give them a kind of sense of belonging. Why? Because persons with disability constitute almost getting to 30% voting population of this country. Why? Because we are 31 million persons with disability in Lamba. This is based on the statistic by the World Bank in 2010. Even the statistics is not even up to date. 31 million, we are over 31 million. And this 31 million, if you look at, almost getting to 80%, they are in the rural area. When this administration has come, we struggle almost getting to 16 years to try to see that our bill has been ascended and the previous administration has failed. So the government of the day has done what we will never going to forget about it. Why? Because they have implemented what we call United Nations Convention of Rights of Persons with Disability, by carrying persons with disability, by institutionalizing persons with disability in political activities.
Cut you, Honorable, because I know if I give you time, you will not get exhausted.
Yes.
But I want to ask one significant question. Do you regret this, your current situation, or you see it as something that is divine?
I'm accident victim.
Okay, accident victim.
Yes, I am involved in a ghastly motor accident in 2017. That is why I sustained a spinal cord injury. Okay. But I thank God with my life. Life is all about living. Disability is all about mindset. I'm not a disabled. Why? Because I have a sight, I have a hand, I can walk, and I can innovate. I can do so many things that anybody that can do. Why? Because disability is a mindset and can happen to anybody if you look at. So God has a purpose for making me to be on wheelchair. Why? Because if you look and I become a leader of person with disability, I become a philanthropist, I champion the move of person with disability. God has a purpose for making me to be like this. If I tell you that the person with disability constitute almost getting to 25 voting population that brought Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the seat of power, I'm not even lying. And what we know what Bola Ahmed Tinubu will do for person with disability. As well as Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if you look at it, he ascended Lagos State Agency for Disability Commission in Lagos during his tenure as a governor. He has ascended, and that commission is safeguard and promote the right of person with disability in champion. That's what I'm telling you. Generating a millions through innovation, through job creation by persons with disability.
About His Excellency, the President-elect, Mohammed Tinubu, I've heard a lot of people so boastful of him in his inclusive government. It is in history that he was the first to make a woman the deputy governor in Nigeria. They're looking at the disabled. I don't think there is any that have occupied a significant or national position. Do you think Asiwaju Tinubu will come up to break this barrier?
Honestly, I'm 100% optimistic. I'm 100% assured. Why? Because we voted for justice, we voted for equity, we voted for unity, we voted for inclusiveness, and all these prerequisite requirements, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has it. Why? Because there is a sad example with the Lagos State Agency for Disability. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the first person that even established this commission, and now this commission, from inception to date, he used to empower almost getting to millions of persons with disability in Lagos. Go to the Lasoda. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu understands the language of person with disability. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a member of person with disability. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a friendly president that we experience and we will never have a kind of person. Why? Because I interface with him in different conferences. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we have optimistic and we have confidence in him that he will go to break the record, break the barrier, by giving one of us minister. Why? Because if you look at what we have done, even in the campaign council, there is directorate for PWDs. We have been involved in the campaign, we have been involved in the transition, we have been involved in the designing and implementation of the process. So there is no way that I think that person with disability will not be involved or carry out in the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Lastly, Honorable, I want to briefly know, there are a lot of persons with disabilities roaming around the streets in Nigeria. Is there any modality in place to create awareness that such is ongoing?
Definitely there is modality. We have a clear roadmap for persons with disability.
But if you go to Lagos, there are a lot of people under the bridges.
Under the bridge.
Yes.
Let me tell you one thing. It is only lack of empowerment that you are seeing them begging in the street. When you empower them, you will never see anybody in the street. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the only person that will take us out of the street. I repeat it. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the only president that will take person with disability out of the street, out of the street because of his good policy. Why? Because if you look at those people that they are under street, it is lack of empowerment. If you engage them through skill, some of them, all of them, they are educated, they have master's degree, they have degree, but they don't have job doing. If you empower them, give them skill, empower them, and give them starter skill, you will never see them. Kenya and Singapore, they adopted this model of eradicating or taking their person with disability out of the street. The model that they adopted, it is the skill acquisition program. Identify with their leaders, identify the skill that they will go to. Some of them they will be knitting, some of them they will be tailoring, some of them they will be innovative. The only thing when you engage them, give them skill, training them, discharge them, you will never see them. So this model has been trying. Even I can remember during the former governor, which is now the vice president-elect of Borno State, we adopted this model. As a leader, I confronted him when he was a governor. Presently, if you go to the Borno, you will never see a single person with disability roaming by or begging in the street. You will never see. Why? Because he adopted this model that we advise him. He engaged person with disability, give them skill, give them stipend every morning. They stand on their own so that to be self-actualization in their life.
Permit me to ask more questions. Okay, I've done an in-depth research and I've seen that this particular service require a lot of finance, and you've been carrying this on your shoulder. What is your strength? What is your strength? And one more question. I also notice your work are more of humanitarian. Don't you think it's time you try to fight for a leadership role?
I'm a leader presently. Yes, I'm a leader. Why? Because I was elected in the convention with a delegate of almost getting to 8,000 delegate. I was elected.
Wow.
I'm a leader of person with disability, and if you come to the activism, also I'm the head of gender in the Northeast Network of Yobe Civil Society organization. I'm one of the experts certified by International Disability Alliance.
Apart from looking up to government for cooperation, is there also any structure in place to bring in individuals that are well-to-do in the society to support?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Disability issue is a collective issue. It's a cross-cutting. We are calling for individual, traditional ruler, faith organization, civil society organization, philanthropies, development partners. Those big win, they should come on and champion the cause of person with disability. Government alone cannot champion the cause of person with disability. We need to come in and support the champion of person with disability.